Peace to the family. This one is definitely going to need to start off with prayer. Let me get right into it. White privilege, black riots, holding space, and the foolishness, a discussion with the scholar, and that'll be me. Abdul Kul Tafalatat, Wabazun, Gama Farragoon, Shalel Kaloon. I am in the love of all, and all love is in me. I am a part of all, and all is a part of me. I am one with all, and all is one with me, and I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. I can be all that I wish in all as long as my wish is to stay in all. I am never alone. All is, I am. All can, I can. All does, I do. Istanjay Ilaku. So please press 2 if you share this video. You can introduce yourself. Cuz, what up, OC? Hey, inbox me your number too, Oren. I need to holler at you later on today. I need to get back in contact with some of my Carters. Okay, let's get at it. My name is Oye Sun, Team Taurus. I stay in Atlanta, Georgia, and I want to have a discussion for me just this one time. Last time I had a discussion like this was when that young sister got killed. She thought she was a sovereign, and she was held up in the house with a shotgun, and the police ran up in there and killed her in front of her child. And all the Moors, I'd still tell them that the blood is on your hand because you were teaching this ridiculous, this ridiculous rhetoric. And so now when I see so much particular rhetoric, I'd like to go ahead and get it off my chest. So I'm going to go ahead and speak I'm going to speak scholarly, and I'm going to mix it in with some street, and I'm going to mix it in with some mysticism and a little bit of cryptic. So I would like to have your permission to move forward with this conversation. So if I have your permission to move forward with this conversation, please press 1. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you very much. So for me, if I got one person who is saying they are cool with me proceeding, then we're gonna go ahead and proceed. And I want it, like I said, it's gonna be about white privilege, black riots, and then if somebody would like to come on, then that's fine. And I'm a storyteller, so I'm gonna tell it like that. Thank you very much. So earlier I said, please do not ask for normal. When the whole COVID thing went down, and I was like, yo, don't ask for normal. Because being in the house, canceling the NBA, having time to spiritually regroup, getting your whole self together, getting your whole circumference together, that is, that's not normal, because we've never had that. I'm 50 years old. I never had it where I seen the NBA shut down and all of these things shut down where I couldn't move like that. And then everybody was like asking me, they was like, oh, when you think it's going to go back to being normal? When you think it's going to be going back to normal? And I said, don't ask for normal, because normal is black police killing, white cops killing black citizens. And the repercussion of that is ignorant black people merging with white people practicing white privilege to go and do a pseudo march, which is all staged by higher powers. That's normal. That's normal for ignorance to happen, for protests to happen in cities where the crime didn't happen. The crime didn't happen in Detroit. The crime didn't happen in Atlanta. The crime didn't happen in any of these places. And all of a sudden, you've let your volatility flow over, which looks like ignorance, which is what I call it, because ignorance means to ignore the facts. So please type that, somebody, so somebody can acknowledge that. Ignorance means to ignore the facts. So if I don't pay my light bill and I go to Comcast Xfinity and complain to them about Georgia Power cut my lights off, Xfinity is going to be like, what are you talking about? You got something to do with them, right? And the real true issue is the normal that has come back after the COVID is to test and watch how ignorant black people are, as they let white privileged people influence them and their thoughts and actions. Okay? If you type in Gloria Steinem CIA, you don't even have to type in feminism. You will see that at the root of the gay lesbian movement, of them trying to align themselves with the sorrows of black folks suffering from slavery, is the CIA planting Gloria Steinem and funding feminism to move into the black household, to separate the family so blacks wouldn't have children that saw head of household, a nurturing parent, and economic sanctity, and potentially polygamy, polyamorous relationships where tribes of African Americans would come together and become self-sufficient. Gloria Steinem and the CIA and the move to bring feminism in, that is now moved into the LGBT, which runs Black Lives Matters, which is funded by a white boy named George Soros, who is a Donald Trump funder, not supporter. He's funding and putting money into George Soros, into Donald Trump's pockets. So when you go stupidly and march behind Black Lives Matters, which is lesbians who have anger issues about penises of black men, you are actually supporting Donald Trump and George Soros and a hidden agenda more than you can even imagine. Please press 2. I saw a couple of y'all put some fire in here. Thank you so much, Nico, for showing up. If you support me in this message, press 2 and share it on your time feed. I'm speaking for a lot of people. I'm really speaking for myself first, but I know that my voice as a scholar is representative of a minority of people who also practice sorcery. So from a sorcerer and scholarly standpoint, what you are looking for in justice from this particular ritual, there will be no justice of this ritual that took place, because it was the anniversary. You simple-minded Negroes went out and fueled the ritual of the anniversary of the 1921 bombing of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So you ignorant Negroes who are out here marching or saying we should tear things up, or I wish all of it would burn down, you are fueling energetically and spiritually what happened in Tulsa, which was the bombing of black people for 3 days. I think it was the 29th, the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, and June the 1st. And it all started over white privilege, because it was according to Wikipedia, if you go back and do your scholarly research, you will see that it was a black shoeshine boy allegedly threatened a white woman, and he was lynched. And then there was a riot after that, and then they burned down all the black billionaires and millionaires, or soon to be billionaires. Now the formula, let me put this in here and educate you, because some of you are very misinformed. You either are wise, misinformed, or ignorant. That's it. Or you learning. Those are the categories. Sometimes I'm in the learning class, and sometimes I'm in the scholarly class and the wisdom class, but I'm never in the ignorant class, ignoring facts or not doing scholarly homework. The formula for Black Wall Street is buy from one another and sell to everyone else. Please, someone type that so you can go and teach this to your large following. Some of you have a small following and you could teach this to 2 people or 3 people. Some of you who are watching have thousands of people following you. There is no black business operating if we just support black businesses. That is ignorant and dumb. Black economics will own. There is no black economics. Black economics is stupid. There's only economics. There's no Jewish economics. There's no Chinese economics. There's only the economics of the system that you use inside of your tribe. And I'm very tribal. So I understand and I study tribes. Thank you all for joining. Please press 2 if you are sharing this, if you support this message. Thank you so much. Buy from one another and sell to everyone else. That's what the Jews do. They buy from one another. They buy their raw resources from one another and they sell to everyone else. They don't give a damn where the money's coming from. So the entire Black Power movement economic strategy that is being expressed out here is dumb and ignorant and misinformed, because there's not enough economic power and there's not enough good black businesses. There aren't enough black businesses for me to support who make technology that I need, because black people are afraid to be innovative. And they are afraid to be innovative because of the religion that has told them not to be innovative and to wait and to think things are going to go back to how it was, brick and mortar. It's technologically advanced now. As I told a sister the other day, she said, go support your local black business before you go to Amazon. She doesn't understand how Amazon works. Amazon is owned by a white man who had an ingenious ideal that he got from dealing with entheogens. He got it from dealing with entheogens. He was doing mushrooms, peyote, ayahuasca, and a system came down to him that he implemented and said, I'm going to link everyone together through my system. It could have been Will Smith could have pulled the system down. Jada. Anybody could have pulled the system down and implemented it. But you black people are so afraid to be innovative. You do not know and remember that you are the ancient ones and that you predate time. So he put a system in place that there are millions of black people selling their products on Amazon. It just doesn't say it's a black business. So what? They're getting the money. Amazon is just the middleman. He's just in charge of logistics. Amazon is a logistics and transportation industry. They're not getting them. I'm buying incense. I might buy incense from Tawana L. Bay or more, who got enough innovation to know she put her products on Amazon to get to the world. I am supporting her. I don't know that. That's none of my business. I need to be focusing on being innovative instead of worrying about a black person's business who doesn't understand business or innovation, and they want charity. They don't want to do good business and technologically advance and upgrade. They want charity. They don't want to make $1 million a month. They don't want to put in $12 to $15 million annual income. Why are black people going into business with goals less than $1 million a month? I can't support a fear-based business. I can't support a fear of money-based business. Let's go back over to white privilege. White privilege is what we all are jealous of. We don't want equality. Everyone wants white privilege. White privilege is me being a trailer trash woman who feels that I'm broke and I don't have no advantages nowhere. And I'm with all the women. But I can still go somewhere and make a video and say, this black man is trying to assault me in the park. Clearly when he is not. And I'm afraid for my life. Can you come and pull up and do an Emmett Till on him? That is the core of white privilege. When it's don't touch my white woman. And a white woman can sleep with a black man, have children by a black man, and still at any moment go and say, this black man did something to me, and she will be believed in 1 millisecond. That is white privilege. My beautiful friend, I'm not going to say her name. She's white. She is lovely. I know she cares. She cares about everybody. She's dated black men before. And she offered to be like, oh, I'm going to hold space if black people need it right now. And I said, listen here, sister, that's all good. But you ain't been banging the whole space for black people when there was no killing by a white cop. She told white people, you all need to shut the F up and let black people vent. I disagree with that. I only agree with white people should stick to their code and shut the F up. Absolutely. But you black folks, you niggers, you gods, and especially you disappointing ass conscious people out here who say that you so woke, you are a disappointment and embarrassment to the melanin in your skin. With all the technology that's out here, that you have advanced no further than where you are right now, than going to get footage of carnage in the streets when you lack strategy to take advantage of a situation where resources are right here at your feet. You are an embarrassment. As a member of the Moorish Science Temple, I know that the word black means death and white means purity. That's over your head. That if you say that I am a white man, that means I am a man of purity. When I say I stand on my square, that means that I am about righteous intent. That means that I am not about pulling myself up by my bootstraps, because I'm embracing the God in me, and I stand up upright, fearless, and independent. Upright, fearless, and independent. Serving a power higher than me that is also inside of me. That is all I need to do is draw from that. But you conscious, woke, fake niggas who want to become predators of black communities and black thought. See, black community is in black thought. So Killer Mike is a joke. T.I. is a joke. And the entire shenanigans that they participate in is a joke when you don't mention sorcery. Sorcery predates time. We, ancient ones of melanin ancestry, not African ancestry. Please shut up and quit talking about African ancestry. Our ancestry predates Africa by eons. Billions of light years. And you speak with such authority like you know what you're talking about. You are only parroting something someone else told you who was misformed or ignorant. The biggest thing that you can ever do to the black thought, the black community, is repeat or parrot non-original content. What someone else told you. Where is your own mind at? You are poisoning the mind of your community by not doing any scholarly research. Someone asked me the other day, and Mudu said, where are all the scholars? You know where all the scholars are? Let me say this for the facts. We buried them on credit. We buried Delbert Blair on credit. We took up money for Dr. Ben. We took up money for our scholars and buried them on credit. And we felt good about raising money to bury our scholars. It's not saddening, it's sickening. Sickening. I'm including your post, Ashley, but your post was just a message of millions of misinformed zealots. You know what a zealot is? A misinformed zealot is dangerous. And then you just run off, quoting passionately misinformation. When you go off and passionately quote misinformation or ignorance because of the research hasn't been put in, is because we desire attention. That's why I said the black conscious family only wants attention and to be acknowledged, much like a white woman who is not acknowledged by her white man, who relies on her as a factory to continue to produce white offsprings to continue his particular lineage. At no point in time do we sit down and go back and take emotions out of it by using human design, a system that was channeled down by a white person. And the white privilege is so overt in the system of human design, which incorporates sorcery, astrology, I Ching, numerology, and cabal. We don't want to put it together because we think there's a silver bullet answer that I can just go out here and passionately plead for it, and then it will come to me and you will give it to me because I say I deserve it. You don't deserve anything but the next breath that you are taking. I love when Amina quoted from the Atlanta Tantra Institute, the only Tantra Institute in Atlanta that I will put my stamp on. She quoted Bruce Lee. She said, "In times of duress, your level of training will become apparent." I'm going to repeat this 3 or 4 times. I'm going to let some of you type it. In times of duress, your level of training will become apparent. So when you see people responding emotionally, you could tell that when in times that it was calm, there was no training. There was no advancement of their skill set. And so now it's very hard to transform yourself or go get training when bullets are flying and it's chaotic. That's why they want the classrooms to be quiet so you can learn. They told all the disturbing students around you to be quiet so Billy or Johnny or Susie or Raheem could learn. But when you try to learn in a chaotic situation, it's just that much more difficult because your energy is distracted from your conscious and unconscious mind. In times of duress, your training will become apparent. So when you look on TV and you see all of these very ignorant, low-level vibration marches and riots in the name of Black Lives Matter, you can tell that there was no training while you were inside with COVID. You were on quarantine to, quote unquote, get your sugar honey iced tea together. Work on a new thing. Work on something that you could get past. But as soon as the opportunity presented itself for you to demonstrate your training, you came back out in the streets and shown the world through CNN how ignorant you are, how no strategy you have. And then you went and got 2 puppets who own half of West Atlanta to come and speak to you to try to curtail you. That is called, what is the box inside of the circuit breaker? I'm going to put you up on some really high intel game right now, which really ain't even that high. Big shouts out to Steve Coakley real quick. Let me take a small moment of silence for Steve Coakley for some of the game he gave me in understanding conspiracies and deep technology. Ashe to brother Steve Coakley. Ashe to Baba Abby Ilias, who put me up on this game as well when I was studying with Dr. Malachi Z. York as a Nawapian on the land in Tamaray. And I'm not polite, who never set a foot on the land. I'm not under federal investigation. I'm not beating nobody out of money. I'm giving you the real raw from my heart, channeled down through me. A circuit breaker is one who stands in front of a crowd and let you vehemently shout to him what your concerns are, and then the circuit breaks, like the power cuts off. If you plug too many things into a circuit, if you turn too many things on in a circuit in your house, the circuit breaker will trip, and then you will go and reset the circuit breaker. That is what happens every time the dumbass Negroes go down in March, or even the dumbass Shannon Sharps formerly from ESPN, formerly from the Denver Broncos, formerly from the Ravens. He's a circuit breaker. He's an antagonist. He's an enemy of black thought and black conscious mind and black unity and black strategy, because he's only invoking ignorance and ignorant behavior. So then you will go to these people, the mayor, the chief of police. You will watch this television in your bedroom, which you shouldn't have in there in the first place, because you've been conquered mentally. You go to sleep to CNN, Colored Negro News. CNN stands for Colored Negro News, Colored Nigger News, Centralized Negro Nonsense. CNN, centralized Negro nonsense, because you get everything from there and swear by it and then go repeat it with passion. You repeat with passion what you got from CNN. They had a reporter put up under who was allegedly arrested in the team that was so wag the doggish, and you believed it. And then you made oh my God, look what happened. They're showing you. They ain't showing you nothing but how we stage things. He wasn't hit with a baton. He wasn't tased. He wasn't thrown on the ground and his knee put on his neck. For some of you who are just joining, the topic today is white privilege, black riots, holding space, and foolishness. My queen tells me, she says, I'm not for the foolishness. So many of you black people, melanated folks out here into the foolishness. You have no strategy. You have no sorcery. How can you even have strategy that is enforceable without sorcery? In Haiti, they did have machetes, but in Haiti, they had sorcery, not just voodoo. There's so many degrees of sorcery and magic, but you ignorant ass niggas all so Jesusified, and you want a Messiah to come and save you. So you vilify the white man versus strategizing and learning sorcery. How ignorant can you get? Ignorant is ignoring the facts. The only time a white man was kicked out of some place was sorcery. And then for those of you who are so fake into the sorcery, you're so low level fake into the sorcery, you won't advance because you think the sorcery comes from one group of people. Are you out of your mind? Sorcery didn't come from Africa, from Pangea when it was one landmass. Sorcery is what makes up this entire universe. It's what makes up what makes up all the dimensions that you live in that you're not even aware of. Scientists have denoted 8 different dimensions that you're interacting with that their computers can trace. So how many dimensions do you think your mind is interacting with? Through sorcery. It don't got nothing to do with biological warfare, brother. That's ignorance. There is no biological warfare. It's all sorcery. It's all about your altar and using the elements to produce real force and power. It has nothing to do with biological warfare. It is the nature. The nature, it is nature. Nature is sorcery. Nature precedes Africa. And sorcery precedes Africa. But because black people so desperately want what white people have, they want the privilege. But really they want the privilege back. Because black people, when you did have black privilege, when you did command all the resources on planet Earth, before slavery, when the white man was in the Caucasus Mountains, the white man made a concerted effort that he wasn't satisfied with what he had, and he strategized and said, I'm going to leave these Caucasus Mountains and strategically go get all of the resources of planet Earth, which is what you're looking at now. You're looking at someone who put strategy down. I don't even have to raise my voice. I can whisper it to you. Black people, you had the privilege. You had it. You had all the privilege. You had all the resources at your fingertips. And you let a minority group come out of the most desolate place on planet Earth. And in less than 50,000 years, they run it all. And now you angry and upset because you don't sit back and do what they showed you. What is your strategy? You had a strategy to hold it. You could have a strategy to take it back. But you don't want to go inside into the darkness of who you really are. You want to complain, whine, talk junk, march, be passionate. Study human design. I'm going to say this 5 more times. Study human design, 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 study human design. There is white privilege in the human design system. The white people know that human design will give us the strategy, will give black people the strategy to be back in charge of all the resources in less than 60 years. But black people, you're so buffoonery that just because a white person says it or it's a system and it doesn't relate back to Africa, then you won't go study it. And then you think astrology can help all by itself. It cannot. Astrology only works in this particular solar system. You don't even have a map of any of the stars and other dimensions. Grams of mushrooms. Take 7 grams. I just got the phone just now. We have a psychonaut on our squad who just took 43 grams of mushrooms. And when she came back, she had to take 5 more grams just to ground herself to recall the experience. She didn't stay here in this little baby solar system that we have where we think Pluto is the last planet. She went to a place beyond where ascendants have anything to do with anything. She went beyond the reign of Saturn. She went beyond the reign of Pluto. She went into the land before time. She went into where there is ancient technology. And I'm so happy that she's protected and resting right now. And I look forward to speaking with her to discuss strategy with her. I have no desire to discuss strategy with ignorant folks, people who ignore the facts. No. I have no desire to get in an argument with any peons out here. And I used to be a peon. Your level of scholarly research can determine whether you move up or down in your particular, whether you want to be a peon or whether you want to be a scholar. I was very happy when someone acknowledged me as a peon, so I knew where I was at. I knew I had to go up. I wasn't acknowledged as a scholar or a master teacher yet. Then when I was acknowledged as a scholar or a teacher or a master or a sifu, then all of a sudden I started realizing the responsibility. Those who have the responsibility and qualifications to lead, no one's listening to them because you are in your passionate feelings and it will continue to get you killed. The brother who was in the ritual, because the ritual of the brother getting killed in the Twin Cities by a co-worker, he was killed by somebody he used to work with who knew him personally. That was a ritual. He was either up on some hypnotic trance or they had a gun on his family and was like, you're going to execute this ritual. You're going to kill someone you know. They do that. The dark forces, not just white people. There are dark sorcerers out here that are below the terrain of Earth. There are dark sorcerers who live underneath the terrain that you continue to try to ignore. And some of you will continue to ignore them. Where do I find them? What book do I read to go? It's too late. It's too late for you to go and just get into think you can go get into some kind of book and find out all what I'm saying. It's too late. It's over for you. It's over for you if you think you just got to go read and catch up. It's over for you. You're going to be lunch. You're going to be somebody's lunch like it's continually being. When you see the masses, CNN makes money off of lunch meat. I'm going to say this again. CNN makes money off of lunch meat. You all help CNN and all the media make money by going outside and doing things ignorant collectively. Black people are collectively ignorant because they continually give the media lunch meat to put on bologna sandwiches to broadcast so they can sell advertising dollars. Stop being so stupid. If you were to not give CNN anything to film, then they would go bankrupt within 4 months. But as long as you go outside and do dumb stuff, you are giving free content to a for-profit industry that makes money off of your ignorant behavior. So when I call you a dumbass, That's not even using profanity. It's like a mule. You're a dumb mule. You don't have the intelligence of a horse. A mule is a strong animal, but it doesn't have the intelligence nor the force of a horse. Right. So, I haven't had time to go and read a lot of the comments. I appreciate all of you who have stayed on. Thank you so much. I don't wish anything. I only have wishes for me in my backyard, because there's no trouble here. Yesterday in Atlanta, when it broke out, I was at the barbershop and they were foolishly watching CNN, and it was pouring into everyone's head. I had steamed salmon, broccoli, and fried okra, and a lemonade. No, I had water, as a matter of fact. And I was like, I'm going uptown to my house and be peaceful and not look at TV and use my intelligence to do what I can do to save what I can hold on to, the black thought and black consciousness. But what you see on TV is not even black. It's not even black ignorance. It's not even black stupidity. There's a lot of blacks out there, but you're so naive and you want to be taken advantage of. And so you continually will be, because that's your wish. So for those of you who want to listen, go find someone practicing sorcery and listen, and stop trying to skip steps. Because that's normally when you skip steps, that's when you get hurt. I'll go back and say this again. When under duress, you see where a person's level of training is. I don't even feel like I'm meditating enough in my life. But in this time of turmoil, you can see where my training is at. I'm not making no posts talking about damn the white man. I understand his policy with white privilege. I understand you Negroes want the privilege back, but you don't have it because you don't have any strategy. I applaud victors. Doesn't matter what they look like. Tekashi 6ix9ine is making all this money because people are praying for his downfall, and he's using it to make money on the internet in a very innovative way. The youth don't care anymore about who's a snitch, who's a rat. The power is being turned over to them. Charlemagne the God is stupid. He made a cast of his ass and his asshole to send to another man. That's a homosexual act. For me to take a cast of my ass and then send it as a present to my coworker who's a man. What are you talking about? What up, Larky? Peace, King. So, what do you mean? Like, you listen to so many things that are misinformation to get you off task. So white privileges continues to abound. Black riots is more foolishness and more content for CNN. And there'll never be another Black Wall Street as long as you black folks stay this ignorant. Because you'll never buy from one another and sell to everyone else, because you don't have the wherewithal to sit down and be quiet and practice discipline, because you're so thirsty for attention. You're so thirsty for attention, and you want to, especially in the conscious community. The conscious community, the woke community is competing with the Jesus freaks. That's why I just stepped away from it. Am I conscious? Sure. Am I a member of the conscious community? Absolutely not. Unequivocally. What is it? Emphatic non-cipher. Emphatic non-cipher. No, I'm white. That means I operate in purity. I deal with my art. I continue to tell people about my artwork. I deal with my art. Is my heart light as a feather? He without sin cast the first stone. So what are these people doing marching? How are you casting stones and you got sins? How? I'm so tired of the ignorant, foolish black folks who march and comment on marching, who watch it. You let it be on your TV. And you social media terrorists who are blacks who share this foolishness on your timeline. You the worst. You the worst. Because you can't even see that you're the worst. The worst is when you can't see that you're the worst. You foolish with your quantum entanglement. You don't know what quantum entanglement is. You don't know what organic singularity is. You don't want to dive into sorcery. You want to stay playing an old narrative of being a victim. You don't want to change, so you're going to die. Not no time soon, though. You're going to die the worst death. You're going to die not knowing. The worst death is to die not knowing. To die full. To die full of misinformation. To die full of wisdom. I don't want to be. I want my wisdom to be out in the streets helping somebody. I don't want to die with all this stuff that I've accumulated. Some of it I will take with me because that's the code that I've signed up for and the oath that I'm under in some of the particular orders that I participate with. Sorcery will get you back on top, but it's not for you with the dark hearts. A lot of black people have black hearts that are so heavy. If you saw my aunt today, what would be the verdict? Somebody please type that. Let me get 10 people to type that. If you saw my aunt today, what would be your verdict? If you saw my aunt today, what would be your verdict? So you downtown throwing stuff at police. You at home talking about you can't stand white people. But if you had to stand in front of my aunt and your heart had to be judged, what would be the verdict? Where would you go? Would you be consumed by Anubis? Or would you move on to something far greater than where we are currently? Are you even ready for that? Are you even ready to see Ma'at? Not Jesus. They replaced Ma'at with Jesus. Like Jesus could judge you. No, it's the scales of Ma'at, fool. Okay. I can't read all the comments. I'll probably go back and catch them later on. I definitely appreciate all of you who shared. If you just got here, my only thing I ask of you is to share this video. This message was definitely channeled down. It definitely was not my message. I mean, I live with it every day, but I had to get it out before I went and meditated. I was very I wasn't frustrated or perturbed. Yeah, press two if you shared this message. Somewhere. Share it in some of these conscious groups. Really share it to the people who aren't conscious. My message is not for the black folks who are conscious. My hopes and dreams are for the black folks that are trying to get out of church. If you a Christian watching this and got this far in it and you just new to magic and sorcery, don't mess with the black conscious community. Don't mess with them jokers hollering hotel. I tell you, you don't even got to come around me. I mean, well, you might want to come around me, but go find somebody who will tell you I'm not with the conscious community. The first question you should ask someone if you're coming into this vibration of consciousness, the first question you should ask someone is, are you in the conscious community, or do you consider yourself a member of the conscious community? If they say yes, then that's not the person. I wouldn't study with the person who's a member. I'm not studying with anybody right now who's a member of the conscious community. I have not studied with anyone who's a member of the conscious community in at least maybe 10 years. I'm 50 now. When I was 40. Ooh, I ain't studied. I studied with Mitchell Gibson. He's not in the conscious community. I studied with Dr. Nardi. He's not in the conscious community. I studied with Amsu Bay El. He's not in the conscious community. I studied. I don't study with anybody in the conscious community. It's a bunch of foolery, and Tom Fuckerye at the same time. Yeah, I'm only looking for magis. I'm only looking for systems. Maybe you'll get it. Maybe you won't. But all I'm going to do is leave it here and lay down as, Baba Kalinde Iyi. I'm still studying with Baba Kalinde Iyi. Baba Kalinde wasn't no member of no conscious community. My battery's at 5%. Guess I got to get ready to get off of here. I would like to read some of the comments. I guess I could go inside and plug up. I want to see a couple comments before I go. On a scale of 1 to 10, how useful was this? And what was the one thing you took away from it? Could you give me that, please? I'd like to get that feedback. On a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful or how useful was this conversation? I don't even want to do that. I'm going to sit on the couch. And what was the biggest thing you took away from it? If you didn't take away anything from it, I didn't waste my energy or air because somebody gained something from it. Let's plug this in. Bishop, I really appreciate you. Hype is in the building. You should have got it from the building, but go back and catch this one, God. Epic. I represent Scott A. Stephanie says, I studied with OU's son. Is it a community is the question. Go to study with someone. Ask them, member of the conscious community, or do you consider yourself a member of the conscious community? I do not consider myself a member of the conscious community. I don't market to the conscious community. I don't hang out. If I go out somewhere where it's a conscious community thing, it's because there's some fine sisters around. That's fine. I like looking at people who look like me, but I ain't acting like they act. Forget about it. Ms. Bowers said, what does that mean, a member of the conscious community? Is it an official way of belief? No, it's very unofficial. It's very unofficial. Pseudo. There's a lot of pseudoscience is going on inside that conscious community as ego abounds. Yes. This late first time, but just in time to hear that I don't study with the conscious community. Felicia says she pulled up sorcery, discipline, and strategy. Tamara says stay out of the nonsense and focus on my plan. Hype said he gonna go back and watch it from the beginning. Jim says confirmation that my vibration is elevated. Milk Dew says in times of duress, your level of training will become apparent. Bruce Lee. Erica Porter says it's refreshing to attend the discourse for the real reason for all of this. Please talk eye level, and you are addressing the high level of all of it. That's what I do. I bring it from high level down to eye level. Thank you. That the corporate media. Felicia says I'm breathing now. Thank you. Stephanie says I've been awaiting baking guidance. You are King Emperor of my community. Now I can remain calm. Me. Now get out of here. To reflect. Absolutely. It says I got right on time. I have to catch the replay. I'm blessed to be studying and learning from you. I'm blessed to be able to teach someone who will listen and take this and run off with what I'm telling you and investigate what I'm telling you and go see for yourself. That's what Baba Kalinde taught me. He didn't even teach that to me. He reiterated it before he left. It was already taught to me to go test it myself. Malachi York said, don't believe me, go check it out. Go check it out means go see. I'm an old 5%er. I gotta do the math. It took more than one thing. Some are personal as I listen to you, but I learned strategy and sorcery are major keys for us. Sorcery and strategy will get you back on top. Sorcery, hell yeah. So over people listening to corporate media. Yes. And I did while we were on this, but that's really what you black folks want. Y'all want to get black privilege again, which is crazy. I mean, yeah, y'all want to subject white people like they've subjected you. So you're dishonorable. You want what the dishonorable has so you can be dishonorable. It won't be given back over to you like that. That's the ignorance and the foolishness that of the conscious community. They want to be back on top so they can rule over white people and make white people slaves for some amount of time, like white people made black people slaves. White people didn't make black people slaves, for one. It was your karmic destiny for you to be enslaved. It was a part of your karma for you to be enslaved. Yeah. Jennifer Brown says, I'm one of the mass, but not with the mass. I learned long ago the only one riding with you is you. It's more than I got some jokers riding with me. It's not just me riding with me, but as I take care of myself I attract people who are taking care of themselves, and then we can speak intelligently. We can speak from a scholarly standpoint. We don't have to get emotional and start getting crazy. Stacy Spears, what is the statement? She said, when the student is ready. Please let me speak on that before I get up out of here. When the student is ready, the teacher appears with the lesson. Please press 2. I see a majority of people have dropped off for some reason. That's okay. I'll keep teaching. Listen, when the student is ready, the teacher appears with the lesson. So there's 3 things in an engagement. There's the teacher, there's the student, and there's the lesson. Which one is the most important? A teacher when a student is ready and a teacher shows up but doesn't have a lesson, then you're wasting time. You masturbating. And that's 98% of what's going on. Students are ready, and you're going out here and you're getting an unqualified teacher who doesn't have a lesson to teach you, who hasn't experienced what they're trying to convince you to do. I wouldn't tell you about taking 5, 10, or 15 grams of mushrooms if I hadn't done it myself. I wouldn't tell you about meditating if I hadn't done it myself. I wouldn't tell you about learning Tai Chi if I hadn't done it myself. I wouldn't tell you about Freemasonry if I hadn't done it myself. I ain't cut like that. I ain't built like that. Look for a teacher that's got a lesson to teach, and then understand what's most important. So which one is most important? The teacher, the student, or the lesson? Some of you who are my students already know. Who is the most important? Who is the most important between student, teacher, and lesson? I see some of y'all know. The lesson is most important. So there's 2 people left. The student and the teacher. Who's the least important in the equation? No, the student is not the most important. Yes, thank you, Crystal. The student is not the most important. That's ego. So who's the least important in the equation of lesson, student, and teacher? Who's the least important? Yannick said the teacher. I would have to agree. The student is the second most important. Because the teacher must. Kelly Lynn Prime. Hey, sweetheart. The lesson is first. The teacher is last. The teacher needs to give the lesson to the student. That's why you're always teaching down. You're always teaching to a younger crowd, because you want them to carry the lesson. And the sinister does the same thing. The sinister has a sinister lesson. So he wants to give it to a sinister student. So the sinister student can carry the sinister lesson and become a sinister teacher later on down the road. Can somebody put it in order? The student is not the least important. The teacher. Thank you, Everett. The lesson, then the student, then the teacher. The teacher's last because he must teach humility. I'm the least important in this dialogue here. I'm the teacher. Some of you are the students. And then I'm giving a lesson. I am the least important. Me. I'm the least important in this equation. If you consider yourself a student, then you're the second. You're the second most important. But the lesson I'm teaching is the most important. Ashley says, my takeaway was I did here is that I am not above correction. So if my thought process is ignorant, then what are the first resources and tools to elevate my consciousness and come into full power? Meditation, Ashley. That was an excellent question. Meditation is your first resource. I've only met you one time and I've dialogued with you through chat, but you do too much. You are definitely a cloth of, a sample of the data of what is going on out here. But you're doing too much. You don't meditate enough. And you think that you're always behind. You're not always behind. You're just not in touch with the God in you all the way fully. To come into your full power, you must get in contact with the gods and goddesses inside of you. It's cool to make offerings outside. I make offerings outside. But what are the offerings that I make to the gods inside of me? The student is supposed to become the teacher. Supposed, because he can choose not to. He might not. He may want to stay in student mode all the time. I have been begging some people. I used to beg some people to be teachers, but they don't. They just want to be students. It's their choice. It's their choice. The student has to learn. Lesson, student, teacher. The teacher doesn't teach humility. He must demonstrate humility. The teacher must demonstrate humility. Please leave with that today. No one is above the correction. What about the teacher? All teachers are students of other teachers. Yeah, but my student ain't gonna correct me. My teacher is. In this particular case, I'm the teacher. Let's look at it like this. When I'm talking astrology and there's a brain surgeon in the room, I'm the teacher. I have the authority. When we go into a biology class or a class about the nervous system of the body, then the brain surgeon all of a sudden is the teacher and I'm the student. Yeah. But the student worried about, oh, this teacher's above. There is no teacher that's above correction. But did you come to correct the teacher or did you come to learn? You cannot correct the teacher and learn from them at the same time. You can't. As soon as you start correcting the teacher, you're not learning. You've changed the agenda of why you're there. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people pretend that they wanted to be my student only to think they could correct me. Just come and say you want to correct me and we'll talk about it. But I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to wait. When you say you're my student, I'm in full teacher mode. I'm not looking for correction at the moment. I'm looking to teach. When I finish teaching, if you'd like to come back and say, I'd like to discuss some things and talk about some corrections and some suggestions that I could make to you, then I'm not talking to you as a student. I'm talking to you as an equal, as a human being, not as an equal teacher, just as a spirit that's giving me feedback. That's why I always ask for feedback. Yeah, when I'm finished teaching, I'm asking for feedback. But if I'm teaching and you're trying to correct me, then you are an agitator. And so as a teacher, when I see an agitator, I have to protect the students who are still trying to learn by removing the agitator or ignoring the agitator. That's what a really, really good teacher does. I'm a really, really, really good teacher because I've been taught and corrected by some amazing masters. I wouldn't even call my teachers teachers. I would call my teachers masters who have corrected me. And so I'm used to getting corrections from masters. I get corrections from my queen, from my girlfriends, from lovers, people who know me intimately. I get correction from them all of the time. Trust me. But strangers who I don't know, who like ain't put no work in, I really let that go because I don't know you. This Internet Raw says, I learned to relax, hush, and listen without reply. In this sharing age, be mindful of what is posted if it isn't uplift or business related. All facts. Right. But what are you worried about? The Tariq? I'm glad you asked that question, Sean, because what are you coming to a teacher to do? You got to look at your spirit. If somebody's coming to a teacher saying they want to learn something, but they end up correcting the teacher, then their cup wasn't empty. Even when I go to a teacher or go somewhere and I'm attempting to learn something, and then I realize that there's some foolishness going on, or I may know more than the teacher, I just walk out. I just close down and just leave. I came there to learn something. I didn't come there to correct them. If they want correction, then they can pay me and I'll help them, but I'm out. You're welcome, Crystal, but I wish you would have asked it anyway so I could have seen it. But thank you so much. What was the question so I could at least see it? A teacher taught me in my 20s how to challenge teachers. I was curious to hear your perspective regarding correction. Thank you for explaining. He was at a different level than I am. He's not where I'm at. Not that I'm better or he's better, or not that he was right or that he was wrong. But I'm not teaching the lesson. I'm not teaching you to challenge. If he taught you how to, if I was to teach you how to challenge a teach, if I was to teach you, listen, you know how you challenge a teacher? Do your homework. That's the only way you can challenge a teacher, is do your homework. You can't talk back to me and challenge me. You can't challenge me unless you do your homework. You can only do your homework through scholarly research. Then I'm challenged to push myself to go further. Bong bong. Kelly, what did you say before that? Something, or have a private conversation. Or have a private conversation. Right. But when I'm teaching, I'm not open to being challenged. If I'm debating, there's teaching, then there's debating, and then there's listening. I have all three modes. I have a witness. Kelly can call me and give me feedback, and I will 1,000,000% listen to what she says. She called me. I was taking a nap one day, and we just talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. And I was in listening mode. I wasn't in debating mode. I wasn't in teaching mode. I was tired, and I was just listening. Right? But when it comes to debating, I'm one of the greatest. I'm one of the greatest. I'm one of the greatest. It's tiring, and it don't pay much. In teaching, I'm moving my game on up. I'm cooking with hot grease. So then as I cook with hot grease, I always want to become a better teacher. I don't have to become a better debater. I'm Bruce Lee and Ip Man and Donnie Yen all in one out here on these suckers out here who think they can debate me. Don't debate me for you. And then but I used to be teaching. I used to get baited into debating someone when I was teaching, where other people were there to learn. Miami's in the building. Peace, Queen. Yeah. The only way to challenge a teacher is to do the homework. Me about doing some astrology and you ain't done no homework. Teach. Because I only teach a certain level of spiritual maturity, just like my masters did. I had to learn a lot about spiritual maturity before I could even have regular dialogue with my masters. So what am I? And you said when you were in your 20s, Sean, how old are you now? Right. I was taught how to cook pork chops. Oh. So I appreciate all of y'all so much for coming through like the woo, peeping and holding space for me while I got this off my chest. My meditation is about to be so grand. Oh, yes. Excuse me. Appreciate y'all. Those of you who stayed. I know it just knocked off another half talking about waiting for a connection. I found you in peace, and I'm going to leave you in prayer. That's just my stilo. Man, big shouts out to my ancestors who gave me this message. Big shouts out to my masters who helped give me this message. Definitely big shouts out to Baba Kalinde, give me courage to make this message. I miss you, Baba. Even though you right here. I didn't really say I miss you, but you right here. Shouts out to Malachi Z. York. Big shouts out to Louis Farrakhan. Big shouts out to Elijah Muhammad. Big shouts out to Amsu El Bay. Big shouts out to Maxwell Nardi. Big shouts out to Mama Ayana Iyi. Big shouts out to Mudu. Big shouts out to Ramasu. Big shouts out to Isoki Iyi, who's teaching me in her own way. Man, big shouts out to all my students who I learned from, who y'all continually challenge me to push because y'all are doing y'all's homework. I honor each and every one of you. You'll be 40 in November. So are you still using the technique that somebody taught you 20 years ago? Is it still effective? If it's not effective, I can't keep using it. Adrian, that what you said. She said, I'm about to do my conscious mind cleanse after this. Pin that. Look at what Adrian's about to go do. She said, I'm about to go do my conscious mind cleansing after she get off of this. Adrian, I got the wealth cleansing one for $50 on sale. That's what I'm doing for 30 days. The wealth cleansing. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Dr. Amsu Bayel. I said his name. That's one of the masters that I dialogue with. I can't shout out Phil Valentine, Dante. I can't shout out Phil Valentine. No, he not one of my teachers, and I don't consider him. I don't consider him. He not one of. He's a teacher, but he not one of the masters that I dialogue with, and it's a bunch of holes in his stuff. So I ain't really rocking. I ain't really rocking like that. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. I was wondering when you was gonna notice. I've been peeping you out too. What you got going on lately? Excellent. Yeah, I can't give a shout out to Phil Valentine. Nope. I ain't shout him out. I'm very clear. You know what I'm saying? If you contributed to this, listen, I give a shout out to Dante Godfrey before I give a shout out to Phil Valentine, because Dante Godfrey taught me more about online business and myself, and even spirituality than Phil Valentine. So even Dante is a spiritual teacher hiding out as a marketing genius. So anytime he would offer a class, you would be wise to go and listen to him. I learned more from Dante. I met Dante online on Blog TV, and then I think I only met Dante twice in person, and I done gained more from Dante than Phil Valentine ever gave me. Absolutely. Adrian, I'm gonna tell you what you need to get. Listen, Adrian, go get the thing that you put up with your birthday. Go get that. I got that on March the 18th, Adrian. Go get this right here. Go get this and print it out and hang it in your apartment. This is mine because that's my birthday. That's my birthday information. But get that, Adrian. Anybody listening, this is the best $50 I spent in 2020. I bought this for $50, and $50 came back in my Cash App so fast, somebody just gave me a present. I bought this March 18th, and it's been hanging on my wall since March 19th. And I have another one in my office I can go show you. Adrian, get this. Get this right here before you get the mind cleanse, okay? Get that right there. I have it hanging above the house rules. Like, you see what I'm talking about? That right there. Don't worry about this right here. Get that right there, Adrian. Just ask me and I'll send you the link. I'm always, listen, I learn more, I give more shouts out to Adrian than I will. I'm not down to Phil Valentine. He just not my cup of tea. He's somebody else's shot at Hennessy, but he ain't my cup of tea. Nah, I'm good. Inbox me. You can get it on Tybro, but I'll show you where to get it. Inbox me. I'll show you where to get it. Trust me. That was the best $50 I spent in 2020. Point blank, period. Period. Protection over your house from dark forces of COVID-19. Like, it's kept everything out the crib, yo. Bananas. She said, I met Valentine in person. He left me nothing to expand on. Voila. Alexis, please call me, Alexis, because I need some meal preps and I will pay you. Can we talk soon? Blondell, what it do? Man, that's my G. Dante, look at that little, that's a three-piece right there. Amsu Bayel, Dante, and Blondell. I put up against your top three. I won't even do nothing but hold the door and run MC. I'll take Dr. Amsu Bayel. This the kind of team I rock with. I'll take Amsu Bayel, Dante Godfrey, and Blondell Adolfi, and I will mop the floor with any of your three that you want to bring from New York or the conscious community or anything. I will mop the floor. But you can't pick any of my other team members now. You can't pick anybody that's on my squad. But there's a lot of jokers out here that ain't on my squad. But I'll take them three and I will mop up the place. I'm a problem because of the jokers that I can converse with intellectually. Just having intellectual conversation with some masters. Dante, he's continually seeing $1 million. He got the formula for black people to get money. Dr. Amsu Bayel on the metaphysical side and with the acupuncture and the needles and what he got, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. And Blondell on the esoteric side of the Rosicrucians, that's just the universe showing me, like, look at my circle. I'll let Adrian open up for him. I'll let Adrian and Stephanie open up for him. And blow your back out. No. If you want it, inbox me and then I'll send you the link. I'm not going back through and finding you. If you inbox me, I will tell you where I got it from. What up, Ty Harris? Yes, Amsu Bay L showed up. Absolutely. That's my G. That's what I'm saying. Not only will I take them three into some type of debate or scholarly debate, I'll give each one of them 2 shots of Hennessy and smoke a half a blunt and go into any battle with them. Dante not gonna flinch. Blondell not gonna flinch. Amsu not gonna flinch. It's not gonna be a lot left over even for me. Just like I'm talking about hitters, bro. Hitters who are scholars. Man, can I say prayer so we can get out of here? I gotta get something to eat. What up, Mercedes Smith? Thanks everybody who came late. Press 2 if you got the balls to share this video. It take balls to share this video. It's always something going viral. It's always something going viral. White privilege, black riots, holding space. You know what I'm holding space for? I'm holding space for people who want to be sorcerers. Hey, everybody got a different job. Muhammad says some of us pray, some of us watch. Then some of us are doing sorcery. And it's like that. And that's the way it is. Huh. I'm holding space for those who want to do sorcery. Everett, he want to do some sorcery. Blondell, he doing sorcery. The jokers who roll with me, who pick me, they want to do some sorcery. I'm not interested in walking outside. That's too much work. Shanika, I wouldn't even let Shanika come out. And Shanika harder, like Jay-Z said, my baby mama harder than a lot of you niggas. Shanika harder than a lot of these conscious ass jokers out here. And if she slow down and start incorporating the one thing at a time that I'm trying to institute to her, she gonna be nastier than a whole bunch of these fake conscious jokers out here. Yeah. I'm getting Everett ready to walk out here. Tanya Poole, I wouldn't even let her come. I wouldn't even let her get dressed to come out here. Like, it's some of the queens that I know that'll start slaying. We need more Dr. Strangers. Thank you, Sonny Ray. We need more Dr. Strangers. I'm holding space for Dr. Strangers. Kalinde was holding space for Dr. Strange. That's who I'm holding space for. I'm good. I'll take that mantle. I ain't holding space for you if you out there. Was you out there marching? Did you want to march? Are you falling asleep with CNN on your television screen? I ain't holding space for you. Are you doing scientific research? I ain't holding space for you if you're not. We're going to holler, man. I love y'all. This one right here, I got to finish up. John, and Everett, and Chad, them my 3 wolves. Them my baby wolves that want to come off the porch. That I can just tell you who they are. I don't care. They protected. Don't run up on them. They hurt you without me, solo. But once they stick around for a little while longer, I got wolves on the porch that I want to come out here. What you think my teachers want me to do? You think Kalinde wanted me to stay on the porch? We think he wanted me to lion it up and run out here. Shouts out to General Firewater. Shouts out to my secret weapon, Gabrielle, up in this joint. Y'all better go ahead, man. Y'all better go on somewhere. Let's get the prayer off. Nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale slowly out the mouth. Namo Bhagavate, Tralokiya Pradavisi Staya Budaya Bhagavate Tarayata Om. Visudea, Sama Tavabasa, Spirana, Gatagahana, Sabahava, Sudi, Abasankatu, Mom, Sagatu, Verivakana, Amir to Abasakai, Ma, Mantrapadai, Aharu, Ayusam, Durani. So the high, Gagana Vasudius, Nisa, Vajai, Vasudi, Sahasa, Ramzi, Sam Kodite, Sarvatati Gati, Avalokani, Sat Paramita, Paraparani, Sarvatati Gati, Mati Dasabumi, Pradastite, Sarvatati Gati, Herdaya, Stithan Anastite, Mahamudra. Vajrakaya, Samatano Vasudi, Savarano, Apaya de Gate Para Vasudi, Pratini Vitaya, Isudi, Samaya, Anastite, Mani Mahamani, Tatota Butakoti Parasudi, Visputa, Budisudi, Jaya, Vajaya, Smara, Sarva Budana, Stite Sudi, Vajra Garbe, Vajram Bhavatu Mama Siriam, Sarva Satvanam Kakai Para Vasudi, Sarvatati Gati Sinkame, Samavasayantu, Sarvatati Gati Samavasana Stite, Budaya, Vibodaya. Bodaya, Vibodaya, Samanta Parasudi. Sarvatati Gati Herdaya, Anastite, Mahamudra, Swaha. Ow! Yeah, because hopefully the replay will have some jewels in it. Thanks everybody for staying to the end. Man, I do love you. My life. I need to cut on some Mary J. Blige right now. My life in the sunshine. All right, peace.